It's Clive Roxinger here. This is actually the Australian Powerlifter files rather than the Garage Project, which sort of connected up together. Got the all-important ball for my cat to play with. What I found is that my leg press, I can increase the weight of it by actually using my own body weight to add to the weight. So I weigh 130 kilo, which is about 260 pounds. So you know, I'm not lifting all my weight though. So how much do I figure how much I'm pushing? And I've got to calibrate my own weight and try and figure out how much all this contraption is that's pulling it up. Cancel all that out with a number and then just add it to the weights on the other side. This all can be done with leverage, and what I'm going to calibrate it with is this. And you're immediately thinking that's a PMG scale, it's worth a lot of money and my mother pinched it. Well, in actual fact it was due to go down the tip. It's bent, and her boss let her have it because it was bent. Though apparently they probably would have used it for spare parts or something, but Telstra back in those days, the PMG, they got piles of money, and so he gave it to me mum, and her boss did that. So you know, whether it was ethical or not, and everybody's dead now. All those people are all dead now, including the boss and probably half his kids as well. That was a long time ago. That was back when my mother was a cook for the PMG in where was it, North Melbourne. Yeah, so at the electrical trade school there, she was the cook there. So she got that when she was a young girl. But it's going to be fantastic for calibration. It's extremely accurate. The only thing is I'm going to have to do this with leverage. So it's going to have to, and it'll probably have to have a check on the calibration as well. So I'd have to do a calibration verification and make sure the calibration ratios are right. And then I do a weight check with myself pushing it up, because sometimes you connect things to it or you tighten bolts up, and sometimes you're pushing up. I'm pushing not only my own weight, but you're pushing the contraption as well. And if it's not greased, you know, it's going to be harder to push, and that's going to add to the poundage. So I've got to try and figure out how much weight I'm pushing up and then add it to that weight there, which is about 150 pound. Now because I'm not lifting all my weight, I'm probably lifting about 150, because I'm only lifting about probably about just a bit over half my weight. So what's that? Probably about 120 pound. Probably I'm pushing in my own weight, and then I add that to that weight, and I want to get up around 500 pound. This actually works. I've got that all bolted up. That works fine. And I've got the foot rest there, that goes down the bottom down here, and I've got it going backwards, so all I've got to do is connect the cable up and then run it down over there, and that connects up to that thing there, which has got 100, I've got 15 of those plastic weights, so 150 pound, I believe the 10 pound, and I'll have to weigh them. This has got ratios to it, not whether it has or not, you know, it's confusing. I don't know whether that's actually ratios. I find that when you pull on the cable it's easier to pull up, but then again it's only pulling 10 pounds, so I really don't know whether those wheels are different dimensions, whether there's actually ratios there or what. So I'm going to have to calculate that out. But this is going to be a good exercise in mathematics, getting all this sorted out. But I can actually use this like it is. So I can set this up. So what I'll probably do is, I've got a rack there for those. I've got two down the back. I think I just brought them in. What to do with them? I think they're at the back. I've got two frames there for hoisting this thing up at the back, and I'll put a pin set on it so I can raise it up and down at different levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and that'll change the ratio of my weight, and then I'll add it to that weight. So I'll start off literally flat and then keep raising up till it's nearly vertical, and that'll give me a real good workout for me legs. And the hernia, it turns out you can buy, what a mistake I was making was I had a thick belt, but I was putting it straight over the hernia. What you do is you buy an elastic strap, and the wide elastic strap goes over your hernia and pushes in, and then you put the belt on. And that way it's, because what was happening is the reason my hernia's grown is because I'm pushing it in all the time with the weight belt. And every time I go down it pushes in, pushes it out. So I need to put an elastic thing underneath the weight belt, and you can get an extra wide weight belt. I think I forget what it's called. There's a really cool one, and they're made in the UK and they're handmade. But I don't know whether I've got to get about 7XL. There's one there that's got a chrome connector on it, really cool looking one, and very wide too. That's perfect for what I want. So when I go to compete, they won't sew me hernia up, so I can't expect to rely on that. And I'll get that stuff. It's only, well, under $100. The weight belts aren't very expensive at all. And so what I'll do is I'll probably train for weeks, and then I'll go out and do a huge lift, and you know, keep a gauge like that. And just before I go for a comp, I'll probably train for a whole day and get a real good idea how much I'm lifting. And yeah, my targets, it's not going to be a full 10 years. 10 years is the entire cycle. You tend to cycle every 10 years, so a weight trainer told me. And so probably 3-4 years I'll probably be ready to start competing with. I've got to beat 420 pound deadlift. And I've got to try and simulate squats on this as well. It's basically all legs, but there are some other factors with squat. You strengthen your back. That's what I'm not working here, and you tend to lean over. So, and one of the other things, and one of my biggest problems, is letting go of the bar. When I got up around 400 pound, I was having a real lot of trouble holding around. My hands weren't strong enough to hold the bar, and I had to start wearing those hook grips, which I hate, and I might end up pulling my wrist out of their socket, so I can be real careful of that. But yeah, so this is the Australian Powerlifter Files. Clive Rocksinger, over and out.